Have you ever heard someone praise bone broth as a miracle cure for strength, joints, and recovery? It's promoted everywhere, from health magazines to social media. But let me reveal something that might surprise you. If your goal is to keep your muscles strong as you age, it's time to forget about bone broth. Why? Because there's another food. Far simpler, much cheaper, yet truly a secret weapon against a silent condition called sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. Have you ever seen a loved one who used to be full of energy struggling to climb the stairs or finding it difficult to carry a simple grocery bag? That's sarcopenia. The scary part is that it can begin as early as 40, not just when your hair has turned completely gray. The good news is that muscle loss is not an inevitable fate. Once you know which foods genuinely build muscle, everything changes. In just a few minutes, I'll share a familiar food you've likely eaten before, yet never realized how powerful it truly is. Stay with me until the end to learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones. And if you find this topic helpful, don't forget to share the video with friends, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss valuable health secrets for life after 60. Let me explain more clearly about sarcopenia, which may sound unfamiliar but is very common in daily life. In reality, it simply means gradual muscle loss as we age. Think about it. Have you ever seen an uncle, an older relative, or even your own parents, who in their youth were strong and could carry heavy loads with ease, but later in life, just climbing a few steps leaves them out of breath, or even standing up from a chair becomes a struggle? That's the living picture of sarcopenia. It doesn't strike all at once. Instead, it creeps in quietly, little by little, until one day you realize strength and independence have already slipped away. What surprises many people is that this condition doesn't wait until you're 70 or 80 to knock on the door. Research shows it can begin as early as 40 if you ignore your diet and activity level. The good news is, this isn't a no-way-back condition. You can prevent it, and even reverse it, as long as you know how to combine the right foods with the proper habits. And here's my question. Do you know someone around you who shows signs of muscle weakness, struggles with walking, or feels less confident because their health isn't what it used to be? Share your story in the comments, because your experience might help someone else. Many still think muscles are just for looking good, for having shape and definition. But the truth is, muscles are the body's living engine. Imagine you're driving a car. When the engine is strong, the ride is smooth, and climbing hills feels effortless. But if the engine weakens, the vehicle doesn't just slow down. Every other part begins to wear out faster. Our muscles work the same way. When your muscles are strong, they burn calories even while you're sitting still. Protect your bones from breaking during a fall. Keep your joints stable. And keep your metabolism running hot. But as muscles shrink, a chain reaction begins. Energy drops. Movement becomes harder. Falls and fractures increase. The risk of diabetes climbs, and even your brain and memory start to suffer. Research from Harvard has shown that muscle loss isn't only linked to weakness, but also to dementia and a shorter lifespan. In other words, muscles are the insurance policy for living independently and confidently as you age. Without them, everything else becomes harder to maintain. So then, what is the real main character that can help you build and protect your muscles? The answer may sound too familiar. Many people might exclaim, "Wait, isn't bone broth the real superfood?" However, bone broth is rich in collagen, excellent for smooth skin and flexible joints, yet lacks the key amino acid building blocks needed to construct muscle. It's like trying to build a house with cement but without bricks and steel. You'll never have a solid, lasting home. Eggs, on the other hand, are entirely different. They are nature's perfect nutrition package, containing all 9 essential amino acids in the exact gold standard ratio your body needs to build muscle. In fact, scientists use egg protein as the benchmark to measure the quality of every other protein source. Also, the protein in eggs is easily absorbed, essentially a ready-to-use fuel for your muscles. Think about it. Instead of spending hours simmering bones for a small dose of collagen, why not choose a few eggs? Inexpensive, quick to prepare, and providing the raw material your muscles need. Sometimes the most potent solution is right before us. Simple, yet almost unbelievably effective. One of the most common misunderstandings about eggs is cholesterol. Many years ago, people were advised to avoid the yolk, fearing it would raise the risk of heart disease. But modern science has proven the opposite. Eating eggs, including the whole egg, does not increase heart disease risk in healthy individuals. In fact, it's the yolk that holds the most valuable nutrients. For example, the yolk is one of the few natural sources of vitamin D, essential for strong bones and powerful muscles. It's also rich in choline, the raw material for memory and focus, which becomes increasingly important as we enter middle age. On top of that, yolks provide omega-3s that support heart health, along with antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin that protect the eyes and the brain. In other words, the egg yolk is a compressed nutrition vault that should never be wasted. So if you're eating only the whites and throwing away the yolks, you're discarding half the value of a gift that nature has perfectly designed for us. A fact few people notice. Once we reach middle age, our muscles no longer respond to protein as efficiently as they once did. Scientists call this phenomenon anabolic resistance. You could eat the same amount of protein as you did at 20, but your muscles won't react as strongly in building and repairing themselves. Anabolic resistance is one of the main drivers behind sarcopenia. So how do we break through this barrier? The answer lies in an amino acid called leucine. This is the switch that turns on muscle protein synthesis. And here's the wonderful part. Eggs are packed with leucine. 2 eggs at breakfast provide enough leucine to signal your muscles to start building and repairing. Picture this. You're in your 50s, starting the day with a plate of scrambled eggs and vegetables, or a couple of hard-boiled eggs alongside a fresh salad. In that very moment, you're sending a powerful message to your body. Don't shrink my muscles. Keep them growing. And if you combine it with light resistance moves, like lifting dumbbells, doing squats, or push-ups, the effect multiplies dramatically. Preserving muscle isn't some distant, complicated choice you make at the breakfast table, one simple meal at a time. You wonder and daring, so W should I eat eggs throughout the day? The good news is that eggs are incredibly versatile and easy to pair with any meal plan. In the morning, 2 boiled eggs with a handful of greens and a slice of whole grain bread make a quick, protein-rich breakfast. If you prefer something more colorful, try an omelet with bell peppers, mushrooms, and tomatoes, both eye-catching and packed with vitamins. Adding a boiled egg to a chicken or fish salad makes the meal more complete and satisfying at lunch. Poached or sunny-side-up eggs, served with whole grains and vegetables, create a well-balanced plate for dinner. And don't forget, eggs can even be a perfect snack. A hard-boiled egg paired with half an avocado makes for a light yet energy-dense option. Think of it this way. On one side, you have a warm cup of bone broth that mostly comforts you. On the other, you have a fragrant plate of eggs that instantly signals your muscles to grow stronger. Here's your significant advantage of eggs that often goes unnoticed. They are one of the rare natural sources containing vitamin D. This nutrient is crucial for muscle and bone strength. When the body lacks vitamin D, muscles weaken, balance becomes unsteady, and the risk of falls rises sharply. Studies have shown that vitamin D deficiency is directly linked to frailty. the overall decline in strength and resilience in older adults. Beyond vitamin D, eggs are also rich in selenium and zinc, two vital micronutrients for recovery and immunity. This means that when you exercise or stay active, eggs don't help build muscle. They also support the body in healing more efficiently. I once knew a 62-year-old friend who often complained of fatigue and unsteadiness while walking. After being advised to add just 1-2 eggs per day and light exercise, within a few months, she felt more stable on her feet, less achy, and more confident taking long walks with her grandchild. A small change at the dining table can make a huge difference in our health and independence. What many people don't realize is that sarcopenia doesn't take away physical strength, it quietly steals confidence too. As muscles weaken, people begin avoiding the activities they once loved, no longer daring to climb stairs, hesitating to walk long distances, even turning down trips or social gatherings out of fear they won't be able to keep up. And this cycle keeps feeding itself. The less you move, the faster your muscles shrink, and the more your confidence fades. That's precisely why adding nutrient-rich foods like eggs is so essential. Eggs don't feed your muscles. They provide steady energy that makes you want to move. With the right fuel, each step feels lighter, and every workout shifts from a dreaded chore to an opportunity to regain control. So think about it. When did you last avoid an activity simply because you felt too weak? And if adding a few eggs to your daily meals could help you feel strong again, would you be willing to try it? Let me paint two contrasting pictures for you. Character A, now in his 60s, fully trusts the latest health trends. He spends hours simmering bone broth, convinced it's his Magi potion that will protect his health. Fearing cholesterol, he avoids eggs altogether. His exercise routine mainly involves light walking or cycling, rarely touching weights or resistance training. 10 years later, A begins to feel his steps slowing down. He needs a cane to walk long distances, suffers from frequent aches and fatigue, and even feels anxious about going to the market alone. Character B, also 60, makes different choices. Every morning, she starts her day with a vegetable omelet, and at lunch, she adds a couple of boiled eggs to her salad. She never skips exercise, exceptionally light resistance training to preserve muscle. 10 years later, B can still easily carry grocery bags, enjoys traveling, and happily runs after her grandchildren in the park. Where does the difference lie? Not in magic, but in choices. One person follows shallow trends, while the other relies on complete or sustainable protein. So here's the question. As you enter your 60s, do you want to be more like A or like B? So, how many eggs should you eat each day to stay safe and muscle strong? The good news is that many recent studies show that 2 to 3 eggs a day are entirely safe and highly beneficial for most healthy people. For those doing resistance training or older adults aiming to fight muscle loss, this amount can even be increased if it fits within the overall balance of daily protein and nutrition. The key thing to remember, the yolk is not the enemy. Skipping the yolk means throwing away vitamin D, choline, omega-3s, and powerful antioxidants, all essential for keeping muscles, the brain, and the eyes healthy. If you eat only the whites, you're eating half an egg. Of course, if you have underlying heart or cholesterol issues, you should check with your doctor before making dietary changes. But for most of us, eating whole eggs is one of the simplest and most effective ways to add high-quality protein to our meals. Another wonderful reason eggs make the ideal companion is their convenience. Eggs are inexpensive, easy to find in any supermarket or local market, and most importantly, incredibly quick to prepare. You can boil them in 7 minutes, fry them sunny side up in 3 minutes, or whip up a veggie omelet in under 10 minutes. Compare that with bone broth, which takes hours to simmer or costs quite a bit when bought ready-made. and eggs clearly win as 3 cheap, 3 quick, 3 easy. Picture a busy morning. Instead of grabbing greasy fast food on the way out, you could boil a few eggs the night before and have a protein-packed breakfast ready to take with you the next day. There's no need to miss out on protecting your muscles with something this simple. The simpler the food, the less flashy the marketing, the more likely it is to bring long-term benefits. And eggs are the perfect example of that truth. Tiny micro tears appear in your muscle fibers every time you move, lifting light weights or taking a brisk walk. Don't worry, this isn't entirely normal. This cycle's tearing and H makes muscles thicker and stronger, but to rebuild, they need the right raw materials. And that's where eggs play that special role. Eggs aren't just rich in quality and provide selenium, zinc, and choline, key micronutrients for recovery. Selenium is an antioxidant that reduces muscle stress, while zinc supports immunity and protein synthesis. Choline nourishes the nervous system, ensuring smooth communication for muscle contraction. It's no coincidence. Professional athletes have considered eggs a staple recovery food after decades of training. If eggs can help them bounce back quickly from grueling workouts, imagine the benefits they can bring to us. People who want to maintain strength, balance, and independence well into our later years. Let's come back to life. The next time you're at the supermarket, you'll probably see shelves of bone broth plastered with fancy claims, but instead of stopping there, head straight to the egg section. Simple, affordable, and many times more effective. A couple of boiled eggs to take to work, a vegetable omelet for lunch, or sunny-side-up eggs with greens for dinner. All of these are effortless ways to nourish your muscles. The beauty is, you don't need complicated recipes or expensive health trends. Our bodies always respond best to what is natural, familiar, and consistent. It's the steady rhythms that create the most significant difference over time. So treat each egg as a small investment in your future, strong, steady, and indie fats. The only question is, are you ready to start with your very next meal? Now let me reveal a missing piece that's often overlooked when it comes to preserving muscle, water, and electrolytes. Most of us think drinking water is to quench thirst, but the truth goes far deeper. Your muscles are made up of about 75% water. Every time you climb stairs, lift a grocery bag, or even stand up from a chair, the water inside your muscles makes those movements possible. Losing just 1 to 2% of your body's water can weaken muscles, lower endurance, and reduce coordination. If this state continues, the body falls into a downward spiral of declining strength, creating the perfect conditions for sarcopenia to progress faster. What's more concerning is that our sense of thirst diminishes. What's more, it reaches its middle and diminishes. That means many people are already dehydrated without even realizing it. But it's not only about water. Electrolytes matter just as much. Sodium, potassium, calcium, and manganese sparks that trigger muscle contraction and relaxation. When they fall out of balance, you're more prone to cramps, muscle weakness, and dizziness. For older adults, blood pressure or diabetes medications can raise the risk of electrolyte loss even further. That's why preventing muscle loss is not only about eating enough. It's also about creating the right environment for your muscles to function effectively. And the simplest step you can take today is this: drink water regularly and include foods rich in electrolytes. Let's take a closer look at electrolytes to really see their roles. First is magnesium, a mineral often overlooked. It involves over 300 biological reactions, including regulating muscle contraction and relaxation. When magnesium is low, muscles stiffen more easily, recovery slows, and cramps appear. Unfortunately, many modern diets lack green vegetables, nuts, and whole grains, all rich sources of magnesium. Next comes potassium, sodium's natural partner. If sodium triggers muscle contraction, potassium ensures proper relaxation at the right time. A deficiency in potassium doesn't just cause weakness it can also affect heart rhythm. You can get it from everyday foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados, and spinach. And what about sodium? For years, we've only heard the warning, qui vec on salt. While it's true that too much sodium raises blood pressure, this mineral is essential for nerve transmission and fluid balance. The key lies in balance, having enough sodium while ensuring plenty of potassium, so the muscle and heart systems can work harmoniously. Think of your body as an orchestra. The symphony falters if even one instrument goes missing. Muscles are the same. Water and electrolytes must play together in perfect rhythm to stay strong. One factor few people notice, but which powerfully affects muscle strength, is blood circulation. When the body is dehydrated, blood becomes thicker, and the heart has to work harder to pump it. As a result, oxygen and nutrients struggle to reach the muscle fibers, while waste products like lactic acid build up, leaving you tired and sore for longer after activity. On the other hand, when you're well hydrated and your electrolytes are balanced, blood flows smoothly. Oxygen and amino acids are express delivered to the muscles, speeding up recovery. Waste products are cleared out more efficiently, leaving you feeling lighter and ready for your next workout. This is why athletes always prioritize electrolyte replenishment right after sweating. But it's not just athletes who need it. Even if they are middle, aged, and older adults, they lose water quietly through breathing and urination, and often don't feel thirsty. That's why fatigue, dizziness, or weakness, symptoms many blame on just getting older, can actually stem from dehydration and poor circulation. Now let's talk about chronic inflammation, another silent threat that weakens muscles daily. You see, your body creates tiny tears in the muscle fibers after every workout or physical activity. An acute inflammatory response follows to repair them, and that's both natural and necessary. When this flame of inflammation keeps smoldering for too long, it turns destructive, preventing proper recovery and gradually leading to muscle loss. Picture this: you're building a house. The work's ready, and the materials are all there. But there's a small fire burning nearby. Instead of focusing on construction, the workers are constantly distracted, running to put out the flames. The result? The house never gets finished. In fact, it becomes more damaged. That's precisely what chronic inflammation does to your muscles. It slows recovery, accelerates breakdown, and fuels sarcopenia. The good news is that you can cool down this process right at a dining table. Anti-inflammatory foods act like firefighters, extinguishing the hidden flames inside your body. Once inflammation is under control, your muscles can fully focus on building and regaining strength. So here's the real question. Are you giving your body the raw materials for muscle growth? Or are you unknowingly throwing fuel on the fire of infel in your daily meals? So what's the firefighting team? What's the self? Muscles resist chronic inflammation. First are fatty fish like salmon, herring, and sardines. They're rich in omega-3s, the healthy fats that reduce the production of inflammatory molecules and help muscles respond better to exercise. In fact, research shows that older adults who get enough omega-3s experience greater muscle-building benefits from resistance training. Next come berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. These small but powerful fruits contain anthocyanins and vitamin C, which neutralize free radicals produced after exercise, easing soreness and speeding recovery. Don't forget leafy greens like spinach, and don't they provide magnesium, essential for muscle contraction and relaxation, and vitamin K, which supports strong bones. Add turmeric with black pepper, and you've got a source of well-absorbed curcumin, known for its strong anti-inflammatory power. Nuts and seeds, such as walnuts, almonds, chia seeds, and flax seeds, also play their part, delivering healthy fats, zinc, and antioxidants. Extra virgin olive oil contains oleocanthal, which works like ibuprofen, but naturally and more safely. And if you include beans and legumes in your meals, your gut microbiome thrives, which in turn helps reduce whole body inflammation. Everything I've shared so far can be summed up into one picture. To fight sarcopenia, you need a three-pillar lifestyle: high-quality protein from eggs, consistent resistance training, and a strategy that fuels your muscles with water, electrolytes, and anti-inflammatory foods. This isn't some distant formula. It's a set of isn'ts you can begin in your kitchen. Picture a typical day. Start the morning with sunny side-up eggs and spinach. Enjoy salmon with a bean salad for lunch. Snack on a handful of strawberries and almonds in the afternoon. And finish the evening with a colorful plate of vegetables and whole grains. Throughout the day, you stay hydrated and naturally replenish electrolytes with leafy greens and fresh fruits. With these choices, you're already creating the perfect environment for your muscles to grow and stay strong. Aging doesn't have to mean becoming weaker. Growing older can make you feel wiser, more resilient, and even healthier without proper care. We've just taken a long journey to understand that muscle loss, sarcopenia, is not an unchangeable fate. It's more like a crossroads. On one side, weakness, dependence, and lost confidence. On the other, strength, independence, and the joy of living fully. And the key to choosing which road to take is in simple daily decisions. Eating eggs instead of bone broth, staying hydrated, keeping electrolytes balanced, choosing anti-inflammatory foods, and maintaining regular movement. Imagine yourself 10 or 20 years from today, still walking comfortably with your grandchildren, carrying shopping bags, or dancing at family gatherings. All that begins right now, with the decision not to neglect your muscles. If you found these insights helpful, please hit like and share this video so more people can protect their health. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I have plenty more nutrition tips and lifestyle habits for ages 50-70 that you won't want to miss. And I'd love to hear from you. What will be your first step? Adding eggs, exercising, or drinking enough water? Share your thoughts in the comments below.